right, so it's bumper time, guys. We finally got a bumper in. I was trying to figure out what kind of bumper to go with. I really wanted a modular, original OEM Ford bumper, but man, I just can't find them anywhere. I mean, not only are they like, over $1,000 whenever they do show up, they're not out there. They're not easy to find. So I went with something else. Let me open it up and show you what we're gonna go with, all right? So we'll say, man, this is great packaging. I mean, this is nice, tightly wrapped with tape all around it. So you can kind of see what it looks like there, but let's open it up. All right. Okay, well, that's not very impressive. Ta-da. Still, this is surprisingly well packed. I doubt there'll be any scratches or dents on this because, man, look at this. Okay, so there's a second box that goes with this. I'm going to open this one up also. All right, so there's all laid out. And there it is unpacked. And I'm actually impressed. Look at all the bolts are all labeled. I mean, the side wings here even have a little rubber on the inside already installed. Nice. It comes with a bunch of zip ties. This is the part for the wings themselves. This is the part that goes for the lights if you want to put the fog lights on here, which I did order some. I don't know if they'll be in time, but they're ordered. And the instructions, I mean, geez, these are pretty good. These are really good, clear instructions on this. I am impressed. Okay, so this seems exciting, to get into this, but first thing we got to do is take this apart. So let's take this apart. All right, we're going to pull this out here. We're just gonna pop right out both sides. Let's unplug this guy here. Now let's do this. We're gonna pinch this out, and this thing should slide right out. There it goes. I don't know yet. Okay, pull this one out also now. So we do the same thing on this one. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on this side. If you're thinking about saving the bumper and trying to sell it, good luck, man, because I see these things going for like 20 bucks online, so nobody can really get rid of these. So if you have to rip some parts out, that's fine. Rip some parts out. These come out amazingly easy. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and unplug the wiring, and it should be back here. Let's find out where exactly. Okay, so from underneath, you could see that plug right there. Can you see that plug? That's what this comes down to here, to the sensors. I guess I could move this out of the way. But the wire comes down to the sensors and the fog lights, and then all the way across to the other side. Chill, Paul. Okay, this is what I'm doing instead. So I'm going to unplug the actual fog lights on both sides and then pull the bumper off, and it might be easier to get to that actual plug because I can't reach it. I can't get to it. I don't have, it's too tight. All right, so these are 15 millimeters and these should just come off pretty easy. So what I'm going to do is just loosen them up with the ratchet. Right up. Good. So I'm just going to loosen up some. Actually, stick it all out since it's kind of hanging there now. All right, so now bumper out, except for this side. Now it might be a little easier to get to this, right? Boom. So we just push this down and pull. Comes right out. Okay, so now we're gonna have to remove some of these bolts because we need the wiring that's in here. If you don't have these fog lights or the sensors, you don't have to worry about this. Just install the new bumper on there. These 15s on each side, And the ones here in the middle, I think there's 4 of them. They are 10s, of course, 10s. Okay. This one. All right, it all comes off just like that. Okay, so actually this last one will not come off because that's where the wire comes in. So you have to unplug it from here. All right, we're gonna use just one of these little tools here to slide it underneath. Okay, so that wasn't hard at all. That just pops right out. That's why I'm gonna fold this back in here. Now we can remove this guy. Okay, so on here, I mean, you might be able to squeeze this thing out of here, like maybe, but let's go ahead and remove the fog light. It's 10, actually maybe less than 10, because 10 feels a little loose, but because these are on so loose, plastic to plastic, it's plastic and that's plastic, so it makes it very loose. And just pull these right out. These are pretty good fog lights. I like these. And they are definite fog lights. They're not spotlights. I mean, they just aim straight down. So down and across. All right, so now we're just going to pull this and these just slide right off. Really nothing on this. They just slide right off. All right, that is that. Okay, so we're going to be using the B46 and the N11s, which is the N11s is the little nuts, and the B46 are the 4 bolts. So first thing you have to do is pop out these little rubber, they're not even rubber, they're plastic. This sensor right here is going to go like that, sideways. If I can get it to go in. It's going to go sideways all the way in, obviously, and then the bolt is going to go across from one side to the other to kind of squeeze it in. That's all it does, is kind of squeeze this in so it doesn't pop out. Let's try it. A bit of a challenge to put these in here, so I ended up removing it, right, and then kind of opening up the actual plates here a little bit, right, and then sliding it in. Once you slide it all the way in, it's pretty good. Now you just got to tighten it up so it snugs the whole thing back and keeps it tight. Then actually, shoot, I'm gonna plug it in on that so I see if it fits, because there's a lip right there. I think it still fits. All right, so to put this on, it is a 10mm and a Allen wrench. I think it's a number 4 Allen wrench. So Allen wrench actually goes on this side, like so. Okay, and then a ratchet probably looks better here instead of a. Gotta hold that side and then turn it. Okay, that's nice and snug. Things not going anywhere. And now I'm gonna do the same thing for all 4. Okay, a couple things to point out here. When you put this on, it is better actually to make it this way, because the other way it pinches it out and kind of faces it out this way, like out, instead of straight out, or if anything you want to fish it towards the middle, right? Because you already have one on this side. This one in the middle, this one towards the middle, and this one to the passenger side. The other thing is, when you actually feed this in, make sure that your actual master plug that goes into the driver's side is on the driver's side, okay? Don't ask me why I'm pointing this out, but yeah, I'm just pointing this out for you, okay? Okay, this is a bit of a tedious process just to do each one, especially the ones on the very side, because they're kind of hard to get to, and you really have to kind of squeeze a little Allen wrench like underneath it. I tried to do it through here, but the angle is not right, so it has to be underneath. These self-ratcheting wrench here, or ratchet wrench, I don't know what you call these things, but these work perfect because you can just click, 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 click. Eventually you'll get there. And then the other thing that helps is also like using a screwdriver or something like this to kind of pry these open a little bit, right? And the last thing is a light, like like this light right here, putting it underneath, and it just like, you can see exactly what you're doing down there. So a couple things that work out. Now, the front, you can see they look pretty good. It is upside down, so I gotta turn it around now. But I want to find a place to zip tie these too. So zip tie these here to kind of keep them out of the way, and then here also to keep it out of the way. And so we know this is going to plug into the main spot back there. This, I might end up cutting these and connecting these to one of the fog lights that I add. Again, I ordered some, so I think that might be the best thing to do, just connect it direct. Okay, so I put 2 zip ties here, just pull this together so it's nice and tight. Same thing here, put 2 of them just to make sure they're not, in case one fails. Okay, on the bumper, you can see there's these little brackets that go right behind it. We need to remove this because we will not need this, but it doesn't just come off easily. Oh, hold on. Can you see it there? You need to remove this little plastic thing here. I mean, it does come off pretty easy, but it's still just a little plastic washer nut that holds this in place. That's it. Now this thing should pop out. Is there one on that side? Wait, is there one on that side too? Okay, there was another one on this side, but honestly, I just pushed it out with just a little bit of force and whoop, came right out. So now the whole bracket should come out. All right, so this is a little difficult to get to, but here through the corner and through the back, you can kind of twist it with one finger on each side. But yeah, those are out now. So now we want to get this prepped so we can put some bolts in here. We're going to need these right here. We got 6 of these, and see how they have like little ridges on it? That's so that it slides right in here and it doesn't turn while you're trying to tighten it up. But to hold it in, we're also going to use little plastic things here. Those are kind of hold it in straight so it doesn't fall out. Let me show you. All right, so just like this, these do have a little protective film that just comes right off. I don't know if we need to remove it or not, but just don't need to leave it there. Just like that, and then like this, just pushing it in there. Okay, so the clips are done on all six sides, 3 and 3 each, and now we're gonna put the nut, the washer, and the actual lock washer. It's pretty heavy. Okay, so before we tighten any of that up, all the bolts are in there in the back now, but I haven't tightened anything up because I'm gonna make sure these fit on the sides and it's leveled, not crooked, and it's a lot easier to gauge if the side things are on, right? So let's try this now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. I think these go down. Okay, the good thing about this package is that they're all the same. So the bolts that go in here on each side and the bolts that go in here through here are all the same. It's going to be a lock nut, the bolt itself, the actual nut, and a washer, all of them. All right, so this Allen wrench, and this is a 5 and a 13 millimeter. It's perfect. All right, so the wings are done with the mounting brackets here. All right, so now we're gonna slide it in there with same bolts. Okay, so this is on, but it's obviously loose. Still gotta tighten it up. I wanna make it as straight as possible. This edge, and the height, and then tighten these up. Okay, so I picked it up, tightened it down, tightening these down also. These don't turn very much. I mean, it's kind of tedious to go like probably not even a 1/4 inch, like 1/8 of an inch each time it turns, but it's getting there. And these bolts here and this one, the 3 on each side, I mean, they need to be tightened down to about 50. I haven't even done these yet. About 50 pounds, at least 50, over 50 pounds of pressure, like torque down to about 50 pounds. Okay, so as I'm tightening this down, I realized, wait a minute, what's that? Oh, wait a minute. One bolt goes here, the other bolt goes here for the winch plate cover here. So, skid plate, bash bar, whatever you want to call this, it's not going to be able to be tightened up in there. So I'm going to have to remove this little edge on it, and I mean, it's not going to go in there. I'm going to have to cut a hole here. Okay, so honestly, I should have been done by now. Everything was almost bolted on. I have to remove it. So what I'm going to have to do is cut out a piece here, so I can do everything with the bumper, bolt it all down. Then I can put that plate right through it with the bolt. Right, so it's going to cut this here, round or square, it doesn't matter. I drilled the hole in it on this side, but a hole is not enough because the way these bolts are, there's a washer with them, so you need a lot more space than just that. I need a bigger space. I need like that much space. Okay, so I cut a little slit here. Should fit exactly this. Same thing on this side. Filed it down some so it kind of gets rid of the rough edges. And I am going to paint, like maybe tape this off, tape a little bit off, and then paint it, just so it doesn't rust both sides. Okay, we're gonna let that dry a little bit, and then come back and do a second coat. Here, Houston. Ooh, let me get a little more there. We don't worry too much about rust because it just doesn't really happen. Make sure I got the sides part. There. Okay, so the second coat is almost drying off. I already took the tape off, but I went back and put like bolts in all these, and these, and then all these up here. I mean, if I ever need to add anything in the future, the bolts are there. But for now, it also covers up the holes that were there. So I'm glad I went back and did this because it would have been hard to do while it's on the Bronco. Okay, I think we're ready to put it back on. We'll just try not to touch that section there. Okay, so there it is, all complete. I had to get creative with the actual license plate. So it's the instructions say to put it here and up here, and I tried it. I just could not get comfortable with the look. It didn't look right to me, right? It just didn't look right sticking up like that. So what I did is, like last night, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put it on here with a bolt, and I kind of put a washer and a bolt from the back, and then tighten it down, right? And it was kind of just hanging down there, just the license plate itself. Went to a car wash this morning, and it kind of bent the whole license plate over. I was like, okay, well, I guess I need something a little more sturdy. So I did use that metal frame. Let me see in the back. The metal frame they provided, and I bolted that down with a couple of washers so it's not hitting exactly on the bumper. And I just put this plastic thing around it and just tightened it up really tight. I think it'll work now. I'm gonna have to just wait and see how it does at a car wash. I mean, on the road it should be fine, but just the car wash that might be the concern. All right, guys, there it is though. Overall, I like the look of the bumper. A couple things I wished. I wish it would have been just a little bit wider on top, and this would be up higher. See how it kind of slants down instead of following. I mean, from the side it follows the lines pretty well. It has tons of bolts on there, all those little bitty bolts, which I guess is cool if you, I mean, the look, it's for the look, right? But I don't know if I ever put anything there. The side parts here, you can remove these. Like if you're gonna go off-road or rock crawling, you can just remove those. But it's a lot of work. You know, you have to, it's bolts from the back and the front to hold, and they're kind of snug right on the corners there and there. I don't know if you noticed whenever I was putting them on. It's a challenge. It's not as easy. So it can happen, but it's not so easy. I am gonna put the. I have ordered some little fog lights, yellow and some yellow and white lights to go there. So it'll be fog lights and just trail lights. It'll be, if I can fit two on each side, that'd be great. If not, I'll just put one on each side. They're yellow and gray, yellow and white. You'll see them. Another thing that I did is from this kit here, there was this one piece that was for when you have a stock modular bumper. This hook is in here. Obviously, the hook's up here, right? So they give you this piece here to kind of hide this section. But since I have this and it looks kind of all wide open there, like, you know, I'm just gonna put this here on the side, and I bolted it there to the side to kind of, I feel like it kind of helps with the look. You know, it makes it a little more smoother there instead of just being completely wide open. You can see everything back there. Sensors all worked perfect. I'm glad all that worked out. But yeah, tell me what you think. Just like it. There's one out there that's a pretty much knockoff on the stock modular bumper, but it doesn't have the sections for the sensors. So I'd have to cut holes and try to figure that out. I don't want to do all that. This one already has it in there and it has that nice look to it. So I went this route instead. But overall, very happy with it. From this angle here, you can see it clearly with even the winch in the back. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out some of the other videos that I got. Alright, and then stay tuned because we still got fog lights to install here and maybe update the ones on top also, alright?